Hello, my name is Peter. Welcome to my channel. I'm just testing this StreamYard streaming platform. So I just put a video up here asking, what is your meaning for life? What is your meaning? What was actually the meaning for your life? It's a very interesting question and really something that we all need to really think about. So what's the meaning for you? And how have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought about what is the meaning of your life? What are you going to do with your life, and how are you going to move forward if you want to move forward with your life? Or do you feel stuck in a rut, just going round and round in the same old cycles, same old circles? So, and also, why should you care about that if you're just going through your life with autopilot? What's the point in thinking about it? Of course. So, really, it's what is the meaning of your life? I've found meaning in many different things. I've had many different dark nights of the soul, which is what I believe St. Paul came up with as a suggestion for us to spiritually grow. So each time we go through these dark nights, we really encounter certain aspects of our shadow side that make us look at ourselves in a deeper manner and make us think, whoa, what am I doing wrong here to make this happen again and again and again? You actually start to recognize the cycles that are going around and around and around that you keep bumping into, and they become roadblocks that you can't seem to get past. You can't seem to be able to navigate your life past it, and anchors that are holding you in certain positions that are stopping you moving forward with your life. And these are all ways of stopping you really finding the meaning to your life, because your life has no meaning, unfortunately, until you put the meaning into it and find that meaning. So it's clearing the roadblocks so that you've got a smoother path forward, stopping the anchors dragging you back and making you feel like, I can't move this forward anymore. So how do we do that? How do we actually do that? How do we actually create that open space for us to walk into? Well, it takes a lot of internal work. So what I say, when you journey inside, you succeed outside. So if you keep looking inside and doing the work, as it were, on yourself, you start to realize that you can actually move forward outside of yourself and create what you actually want, rather than going through the same old cycles. If you think about our society, our minds are conditioned to go out all the time, always going out and looking for stimulus to come in. And then we take that stimulus, and what we actually are attracted to, we take that stimulus into our body, and that conditioning makes us put goals into the material world. So that material goal is coming from a material thought, and it's really pushing you into a place which could be impossible for you to get there without lots and lots and lots of hard work, which is what the ethos is of our society today. Is just work harder all the time. Keep working harder. And that's really difficult to do, because you only have so much energy to keep putting your nose to the grindstone and going round and round and round and round and round again. So where does that energy come from? Where does it come from? When you focus inside and you find what you're passionate about, that's where the energy comes from. Is that passion, is your second chakra, or as the practice I call with the Key Gong that I teach, it's called your lower danjon. It's your lower danjon, and it helps you to connect with the energy of the earth and the energy around you. It's actually the embracer of your community and the embracer of your one-to-one relationships, your lower danjon, because it's connected to your root chakra, which is your connection to your tribe and the earth. And the second chakra is your one-to-one communications, but it's where your passion, your power, your creativity come from. So if you can clear that, you start to realize actually you are a very powerful being. If you stop taking in the conditioning from our society, stop taking it in, and then you start to open up this lower chakras and the lower danjon, as I call it, you start to open up your life and you start to find a meaning to it. My early days, I was sent to a well looked at school. It was well looked upon as a school, and I was expected to get a really high paying job, and I did. I walked into a sales job and I was really miserable. Really miserable. was making loads of money, yeah, and I had a mortgage and all that business, but really miserable. And I decided to give all that up. I just walked away from it and decided to become a musician. That was brilliant because it was my passion. I had nothing at all, but it was my passion. So I created. I worked hard on learning the bass guitar, and it suddenly opened up for me amazingly in a big way, which I thought was fantastic. So I kept pushing forward with that music, the dream of becoming a musician, because I loved meeting people. I loved being around people. I loved entertaining people. That was fantastic. So music was a great way of me doing that. I could really work hard on pushing myself out there and playing in front of some enormous audiences, recording, getting music out, going onto radio stations, onto live TV as well. Did sessions on live TV. I did amazing things as a musician, all because of the passion. That was the meaning for my life, was to actually help people get through their lives with entertainment. And then I realized that the whole music business was being changed and manipulated and conditioned into a certain way. And it no longer became about the art, which is what I'm really all about. I'm very artistic. It was more about the image and the money that you could make and the money that you could bring in. And I was having arguments with people in the band about the integrity of the music rather than the integrity of the image, which became more important. I finally released an album called Anahata Earth Echoes, which you can find on iTunes. Which is a wonderful album. It was based on the chakras. It still is a wonderful album. And I got that released through New World Music, and it didn't do very well because there was lots of pirate sites downloading it for free. So I found it very difficult to sustain myself on a very small income through music. So I was looking for something else, more meaning to my life. And I was going through many dark nights of the soul while that was happening, looking at myself and realizing the conditioning that I was in with my the society expectance on me was enormous. As I kept looking, thinking, I'm a musician. What can I do now? I'm a musician. So I was starting to write soundtracks and things like that, and I was getting small interest from publishers, getting interest from my songs from publishers and things like that. But nothing was actually moving or paying the bills, as it were. So what could I do next? And at that point, when I asked that question out to the universe, I was led to a mind, body, spirit show, and found qigong and the journey inside through a few companies actually that did it. But Dharma Yoga was the main one, where I started to do group classes, and my stress and anxiety started to relieve very quickly. And then I started to unpeel the trauma. Trauma makes you more receptive to this material world. So I started to unpeel that trauma and realized, wow, there's something to this. So the meaning to my life suddenly changed from entertaining people to helping people, which was, again, more going out than in. But it was my inner journey to break down those preconceptions of being a musician. It was really difficult for me, really, I mean, really hard. I mean, this was tough. So I started doing that, and I started making myself realize that what I was doing with my practice, I should be sharing with other people. And before that, my teacher at the time, she said, go and teach at this elderly community centre. And I thought, okay. But my parents had died when I was young. I wasn't really in contact with any elderly people at the time. That's complete change now. But I wasn't at the time. So I had nothing in common. I'd come out from a business that was really young orientated. So I started to move into this healing, giving qigong classes to the elderly, and I started to see the changes in them. I started to see actually there's not a lot of difference between me and them. It's just that their material vehicle is degraded a little bit, and we can turn that around a bit with qigong and breathing and meditation, all this kind of stuff. And it was remarkable to see the changes in the people that I was training. Not only that, but the room started to fill up, and I thought, well, this is an Eastern practice with lots of weird things like we're not used to doing in the West, like body tapping, deep breathing, focusing on yourself, stretching out the meridians, working on the chakra systems, and all of this is complete gobbledygook to us in the West. And I was realizing that. So I was kind of introducing it in a way and doing lots of research, seeing the studies that have been taken on all of this practice and realizing it actually works. And then going and taking that knowledge and convincing them that this is really good for them. And then seeing the class grow, seeing their health grow, seeing their minds open, seeing them grow, 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 grow. And all of a sudden, they were starting to see a different meaning to their life. They started to see that they could actually do something with their twilight years to help their grandchildren, pass this on to their grandchildren, pass this knowledge on, which is the knowledge inside of you. And the meaning to their life suddenly started to increase. And to see that was a beautiful thing, absolute beautiful thing. So I realized that there's something to this, and I decided to become a qigong instructor. So I went out to schools and businesses, set my own practice up, and it went really well. Before lockdown, I was taking about 15 classes a week, and I loved it because I was seeing people grow all the time and realize that this was really working for them. So that was the meaning for me, is to actually give healing to other people while healing myself. And then COVID came and I went through all these dark nights of the soul again. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And this was really important to me. Hello, bonsai tree. This is my first live stream. So what was I going to do? I was going to push myself forward, push myself forward onto the internet. And now I started a coaching program with this new way of thinking about life and growing and experiencing life more, because we're being conditioned into pushing into this small boxes all the time by a meme that wants to keep us in this place. And it's wrong. It's wrong, because each of us have the power to come out and speak our truths. And that's what I'm all about now, is finding the meaning to your life. Yeah, see about yourself, standing up for. Yeah, see others standing up for other people. That's right. It's about us as a species, and the reason we're on this planet at this point in time is to raise our consciousness. That's as simple as that. And you might think to yourself, what on earth are you talking about? What are you talking about, raising your consciousness? It's a collective thing. It's a collective thing. So you've got these people who are believing in politics still, even though year after year after year after year, they lie to you, year after year, and they get caught lying to you. Look at the Iraq war, the wars in the middle of the East. Look at the medical profession. How many times and how many billions have they given out in money for compensation for people who've been damaged? I mean, it's a fact. It's a simple fact. And how much more is going to happen in the near future? That's another fact. How many people have been destroyed by war, and how many immigrants are coming across the Middle East into Europe because of war, because of the way that we're living with each other, because we've been trained to compete with each other. And we don't need to compete with each other. We actually can do this with cooperation. And humanity, when it starts to cooperate with each other, everything will go. So everybody's stressed and anxious about how bad the world is at the moment. It's a simple choice, and you can start making that choice for yourself, where you can turn this around and make it good for yourself. So give it a go. Think about the meaning for your life. I mean, a lot of people I know and speak to me, they realize their life is changing and they're finding meaning to it and helping other people to grow for themselves and giving them information that helps them grow. And the problem with today's world is the conditioning is so ingrained into us. It's really ingrained into us. And breaking through that conditioning can feel really, really hard. So if you're wanting to go a bit deeper, I do have the Bright Beings Academy here, where you can learn qigong, and I've got good cheap offers on that if you want to come a bit deeper with me. And I'll do these group calls. I'll do live group calls on Zoom, so you can come in and talk about your meaning of life. That's really cheap. I can't do it any cheaper than, it's about £10 a month now they've got it down to, but you have to email me to get the coupon code, because normally it's about £30 a month. Or you can come on a course with me. I do a one-to-one course which will help you break this down. And I've got testimonials now that are coming where people have been on the course. The changes has been phenomenal. They've gone from a stressed, anxious human being almost walking into being guru type, which is fantastic, which is what we need to do as human beings. We need to raise our consciousness. Anyway, this is my first live stream. You can click the link below. I'll put the link below for this video, and I'll see you very soon. I'm going to do a few more of these and see how they go. And good to see you, bonsai tree. See you soon. Bye now. Bye-bye. It worked.